Welcome to a corner of Kent that has it all. Great gardens, architecture and landscapes fit for poets and painters. Not to mention a sense of history that's hard to surpass. This is Hever Castle, former dwelling place of Anne Boleyn, and this weekend it's residents in waiting to an exciting young triathlon. The Markel Castle Triathlon is one of the 3 biggest in the country, and this stunning location has surely played a major part in its immediate success. This weekend is designed to inspire all, from the world-class elites to the next generation of swim, bike, run enthusiasts. Youngsters from the age of 7 will be taking part in this, the world's biggest children's triathlon, and they'll be teaching mum and dad how it's done. In some cases, entire families will be out on the course. Dinner table bragging rights are definitely at stake. With sprints, relays, Olympic and long distance on offer, there really is something for all ages and abilities this weekend, and that's why thousands of triathletes have once again come to Kent. But it's not just the age groupers who are here in force. Hever is the last round in this year's Castle Triathlon series, and that means there are 2 sets of elites ready to storm the ramparts in the quest for the titles. With such an obvious historical backdrop to the event, it's perhaps rather appropriate that this weekend sees the renewal of an ancient rivalry dating back hundreds of years. England against France caused much confrontation in Anne Boleyn's era, but so far triathlon is yet to absorb the sport of fencing, so the 2 sets of elites should still be able to shake hands come the end of the race. The climax this weekend sees the organisers laying down the gauntlet. That's the name of an endurance challenge that will see hundreds of competitors, including world-class performers like Lucy Gossage, Fraser Cartmel and David McNamee, proving their stamina in the River Eden before heading out onto this glorious, gruelling course. Well, our commentator Patrick Winterton will be keeping an eye on the action throughout the weekend, so let's join him now and find out what's coming up.
We're situated just to the southeast of London, an hour or so from the city centre at Hever Castle, a perfect venue for triathlon and a venue that hosts many events over the weekend, the gauntlet being the toughest of all. And for once, the geese are going to be outnumbered by the swimmers. Wave after wave of triathletes starting the swim, and they've all entered the water from the loggia, which was brought to Hever Castle from Italy in the early 20th century. And of course, all this the work of William Waldorf Astor and the 800 men who dug out the 38-acre lake, and it took them a full 2 years to complete the project. Well, hopefully none of these athletes will take 2 years to complete. The gauntlet swimmers will be finishing off in one of the tributaries to the River Eden. That's certainly an unusual venue for a triathlon, but very, very enjoyable, I'm sure. All ages involved today, and so many different events on offer. And of course, switching from the swim to the bike, the gauntlet, a full 90-kilometre bike ride today. The Olympic and middle distances take on a 40-kilometre course, and then the sprint over 20 Ks. The gauntlet taking in the high weald of Kent and the Ashdown Forest. Stunning scenery all the way round. Well, once the bike ride is completed, they still have the small matter of a run, 21 kilometres for the gauntlet athletes. And they'll get to see some stunning sights all the way round. Chiddingstone Castle and its grounds. And then they head back towards Hever Castle, of course, owned by Lord Guthrie for the last 30 years. 5,000 competitors in all entered into the events over the weekend. It is a phenomenal success story.
Well, there are so many races over so many distances. There's a lot to talk about, and I'm delighted to once again be joined by Rachel Latham. Rachel, what an unbelievable atmosphere here. It's fantastic.
I know, it's kind of got that sporting but festival atmosphere. We've got so many children, families and schools all coming together, and it's just that heartwarming feeling.
It's great that the organisers have been brave enough to lay on an open water swim for young children.
I know, there's 1,200 kids competing here. It's completely sold out. I think the biggest thing is, after London 2012, a lot of the children saw the triathlon, which they'd never seen before, and just thought, you know what, I can do that, I can get in. And that's the type of legacy that we want, you know, to get involved in something you've never done before and try it out. And, you know, they're just here to have a bit of fun. And, you know, if they turn into Olympians one day, then even better.
Absolutely brilliant. Thanks very much, Rachel. Let's get out on the course and find out how the next generation are getting on here at Hever Castle.
Brian Adcock, the race director, just briefing the youngsters before they start their race. And there are hundreds and hundreds of them. Well, it's great to see that so many siblings are racing. There's Laurie Mailer, whose whole family are involved with the racing this weekend.
Why did you decide to bring everybody down to compete today?
Okay, well, a few years ago, my wife started, and so I joined in a bit behind the curve, and I've been playing catch up ever since. But at the beginning of the year, we said to the guys, you know, would you like to do some triathlons this year? And they all said yes, which was we sort of went, oh, okay, so let's go and do it. So that's what brought us here today.
Your youngest is only 7 years old. Are you ever nervous watching her compete?
Yes, and it's really good that you're allowed parents in the transition area when you're with them. So yes, I count the minutes till they come back in and go out again.
Well, the Mailers have been involved in a number of the events in the Castle series, 3 in all this year. We have Castle Howard, Chateau Chantilly in France, we've got Loch Coutre in Galway and Cholmondeley Castle in Cheshire. Laurie Mailer, a successful swim and on his way on the bike ride in the junior event. The bike course for the juniors entirely within the castle grounds. Laurie, of course, racing for a good position in his group, but primarily to beat his sisters today. Another wave and another family. This family have completed in the whole series this year. The Strongs. Father James with Bradley and Mitchell, his 2 sons. Bradley at the moment the stronger of the 2, but Mitchell promising something special. Maybe it will be Dad's Day.
It's a very competitive series, but it's also very fun, very easy. There's a lot of first timers here, which is great, and there's a lot of experienced people here, so it's a mixture of what we want.
2 competitive sons will be going hammer and tongs, no doubt. And all these guys racing over the sprint distance, which will take them about an hour.
We've always had this brotherly competition, and yeah, I'm getting there. I'm slowly going up. It started with a big gap. It's now a very small gap. He's a much better cyclist than me, but we're quite similar on the run, I'd like to think. But no, he'd probably beat me, but I'll give it my best as usual.
Well, we'll track them as they go round the course. There are lots of kids involved today as well, and lots of schools taking part. Alison Saunders is the headmistress of St Lawrence Primary. Her aim is just to complete her first ever triathlon. The kids from her school are taking part in the inter-schools tournament.
There's a team of children and a team of parents, and there's me. And I think I decided to do it partly because it's a huge personal challenge. I've never really competed in anything like this before at any level, so it's totally new. It's also totally new to the children in my school, so I sort of felt as though if I'm asking them to do something that's really rather out of their comfort zone, then maybe I should actually be having a go myself.
Well, you have to applaud her for that, and it's going to be some experience swimming in the open water with so many other swimmers. Bradley, the older of the two Strong brothers, is first out of the water, and he's opened up a gap of a couple of minutes, it looks, on his brother Mitchell. So Mitchell has work to do, but Bradley's certainly the stronger when it comes to the bike ride. So it's all going well for the older brother at the moment. And he's had a very quick transition and opened up a couple of valuable seconds on his brother and his father.
This is the most difficult part. This.
There's got to be a technique. Every 15 to 20 minutes, another wave starting. Plenty of volunteers and lots of safety boats out on the lake to make sure that everyone's all right. Here comes Alison Saunders, cheered on by her school kids. And some of the old school kids, I suspect. The two youngest mailers preparing for their race, and extra experienced water safety crew on hand for the kids, so the kids can enjoy the event and the parents need not fret. They have a job to do because each kid is allowed one parent in the transition area who's allowed to help remove the wetsuit, as you can see, and take the bike off the rack. Otherwise, all they can give is encouragement. Elise Mailer ahead of her younger sisters.
How you doing, Elise?
Hi, fine, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Well, the kids certainly enjoying their day out. But as they say, there's a kid in all of us. Here comes the headmistress.
How are you doing?
Going well. Bit of a hill back there.
What goes up must go down. Plenty of downhill sections to enjoy. And the mailers, particularly Maria, pushing hard. She's got a cadence that Bradley Wiggins would be proud of. Great effort from the youngster, just 7 years old. Many of these kids involved in the inter-schools tournament, and all those dressed in bright green belonging to Highfield School, where they have their own triathlon club.
Well, some of them started when we started the club last term, so have done a lot of lake swimming and practicing the pool, and some have actually done a few races, and we've got some here who are doing it for the very first time, so they're very new to it and it's a new experience, so a lot of different abilities.
Barnaby Gray, who's planning to be involved in a number of events next year with the school, and of course he's racing the gauntlet event tomorrow. Mitchell Strong chasing his brother Bradley, who's having a very good ride so far and opening up a decent gap.
Where's your brother?
I don't know. Hopefully a long way back.
All he's got to do is stay on course.
Well, the whole atmosphere here this weekend is helping to turn this into a fitting finale to a season that has seen similar events in similarly stunning locations all across Britain, Ireland and France. And the man responsible is Brian Adcock. Brian, first of all, you must be delighted with the energy and the whole atmosphere here.
Yeah, I mean, we put a fair amount of effort into trying to create an environment where people feel comfortable and relaxed and come and enjoy a race. So they're here to have fun after all.
What was the initial ethos and where did the initial idea come from to create a Castle series?
I had the opportunity, because I live down the road, to come and organise a triathlon here for the first time 5 years ago. And we'd sold out the 1,000 places that we limited ourselves to in that first year within about 4 weeks. So we just thought, you know, we're on to something here. And I'm pretty sure that when Lord Astor sorted the grounds out in this place, he had triathlon in mind, because it is a stunning place to come and do an event.
Let's just talk a little bit about Castle Howard, one of the other stunning locations. It's really well known because it's been part of various TV historical dramas. It really is an eye-catching venue for a triathlon.
Yeah, it's stunning, and all of the things that you'll have seen on the TV programmes, like the Temple of the Four Winds, the Mausoleum, are all incorporated within the run route. Howardian Hills present an incredible challenge for the cyclists, so yeah, we expect that one to become the biggest triathlon in the north.
Great stuff, Brian. I know you're a busy man. Thanks very much for your time. And let's get back out on the course and join our commentator, Patrick Winterton.
The first day of action here at Hever Castle. The shorter events, the sprint, the junior events. The big ones may be on the Sunday, but there have been some fine performances so far. Alison Saunders, almost at the end of her first triathlon. Bradley Strong, a really good performance, and he's outstripped his brother once again.
That looked pretty solid.
It wasn't bad. I think, bike was a bit difficult today. There was a lot more people in the swim, but it wasn't bad. I beat my family, so that's the main thing.
Mitchell Strong still pushing hard and straight into the arms of big brother.
Can you see yourself beating this guy one day?
Easily next year, 100%.
Oh, that's fighting talk.
My improvement's gone by about 7 minutes in a year, so another year and I'll be starting in his position.
You're a marks man.
I'm not worried, it's all right.
And Father James, he's made it.
Guys are saying that the standard is noticeably increasing and improving every year with this event.
It has, the whole castle series is. When Brad and I first did this 4 years ago, there was about a dozen people in the swim. Now, in our wave alone, there must have been 200, so it's a very good event, very friendly. The whole castle series is tremendous.
And Alison Saunders finishes her day's work. 10 out of 10. Couldn't have done much better. Her school kids will be as proud as she is.
The run was really difficult.